Howdy YouTube, and Play the Jolly here. Spirit of Christmas, piloting a snowman like a mech. We are here with reactions again. We're doing background NPC. We are way behind on her, so we're gonna start with this. This is why did they ruin it? I don't know what it is. This is where nouns come in handy. No idea, but I guess that's a little bait for the hook. So that got us in here. Although we didn't really need the bait. She's the bait. She's an absolute delight and a joy. Let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to do it at 1.25 times speed because my brain is rattled from working all day, and I just need something to focus on.
Hi, I know I've been gone for a few weeks. I'm so sorry. Life got busy, and then
You earned a break. You earned a daggum break.
I got bit by the spring cleaning bug and have been in the process of rearranging my whole office. But it is great to be back. Over the last month, I feel like I have
Turn this down, man. This is kind of loud.
gaming and entertainment news. We've got Christopher Nolan rage baiting us with the Odyssey, a game I learned everything about.
Absolute rage bait. Absolute 100% rage bait, man. There's no way they're doing that by complete accident. It's absolutely ridiculous. I gotta be honest with you. And mixtape, don't even get me started on mixtape. I've watched so many people just hate mixtape. Like, just put the controller down, walk away, and if you could do that, it's not a good game. You did a bad game. That's just a terrible game, man.
Completely against my will, Sony continuing to try and run their company into the ground, and somehow Anita Sarkeesian returned. It is also the 1-year channel anniversary.
Don't show me Anita.
Again, sorry, but yay! I cannot believe our original 300 has grown into an army of 250,000 strong. I'm still in shock.
Spartans!
Unbelievably grateful, and I'll share more about that at the end. But first, let's get into everything. All right, in case you missed it, Ryan Cohen, the GameStop CEO, randomly.
GameStop makes daring $56 billion bid for eBay. Did not go through, by the way. Hallelujah.
Bid $55 billion for eBay the other week. The news interview where they tried to figure out where all.
Because, for the record, I'm pretty sure what was going on there was they're going to try and stop eBay from selling old games, because that's where I get my old games, my used games, and they can't sell games as long as eBay's around. I mean, there's other places to get them, but it's a lot less well known, so that would cut off a lot of sales from like more normal people doing it. But that is like the bulk of where I get my old games when I get old games.
This money was coming from genuinely made me laugh out loud. Sadly, eBay did not find it as funny as me. They rejected it pretty quickly. Ubisoft reveals a 1.3 billion euro operating loss. Said they won't be profitable until the fiscal year of 27 and 28. One of their ideas to turn things around, though, an Assassin's Creed stage show, because the people who don't want to play Assassin's Creed actually want to watch it performed live. Bungie announced that they were.
To be fair, a stage show could be good depending on which Assassin's Creed and who's making it, because it could also just suck, like the games. You got to get somebody who, like, honestly, this is probably one of those situations where I don't know if you want someone in the gaming sphere to make it. Like, obviously you want people in there who know what they're doing, but it's kind of a toss-up if you get someone who likes the games or just say they like the game, so they can put like their little politics and stuff in there.
Winding down a Destiny 2 support, but are still riding hard for Marathon. We'll be coming back to that one when we get to Sony and.
Bold. I respect it. I respect the heck out of them. Like, it doesn't feel like it's going to work, but they're trying, man. They're going out fighting.
Just a bit. Nintendo continues to take L's in their patent war after all 26 of their summon and fight claims were rejected by the U.S.
Got them.
Patent Office last month. Japan just rejected another one from the exact same family, all because of.
It's bad when Japan is not siding with you, man.
A lack of originality. The irony is just too good. Like I mentioned at the start, Christopher Nolan's Odyssey trailer dropped and it became the most disliked trailer of.
Rightfully so. It's clear they do not like the Odyssey and have no intention of sticking with it.
His entire career, and yes, I did do my part. And finally, the Lords of the Fallen 2 armor reveal video, which I was so excited about. Sadly, upset journalists and Redditors alike, so.
What do you mean sadly? That means you're doing the right thing.
So I have officially entered my Kotaku villain arc.
Welcome to the club, little background NPC. We've been here for years.
Through Blue Sky Post, it's just another soul. I have no heart to stand. Oh, and CI Games officially broke their exclusivity contract with Epic, which is great news for the game and for the players, and another win for the villain. But
yeah, screw Epic, man. They are the least player-friendly of all the third parties. I gotta say, like, everything is just, how can we cram more ads and make it more inconvenient for the player to actually do anything?
But let's talk indies. This year we were introduced to 3 indie games, a survival game.
All right. Don't care.
And a game that was not really indie.
Super don't care. Like, don't get me wrong, Mixtape probably the best out of the three, just for the memes and shorts and reactions alone. The other two, I'm not gonna watch anyone play those other two. I would watch someone play Mixtape so I can watch them make fun of it. And I did watch Chibidoki and Tenma play it because, oh god, those two were funny.
Game, but the more I sat with all three, the more it kind of hit me. They're a little bit of the same story. Bear with me. They're all about the one single thing in this industry that money genuinely cannot buy, and that is you, the players, actually trusting the people making your games. Starting with Subnautica 2, which has sold over 4 million copies now and has launched in early access. To be honest with you, this is not a game for me, okay? The thought of exploring the big blue world and being harassed by sea creatures is not something I would personally consider fun, but to each their own. I actually first learned about this game due to the massive drama that ensued with their parent company, Crafton, in case you were not following the whole saga.
I'm aware of that. I did follow that a little bit, mainly because like multiple channels that I watch, they covered it. And once you hear it the first time, you don't need to hear it multiple times. It's pretty simple.
During development, basically Crafton owed the original team a massive bonus, somewhere around 250 million, if Subnautica 2 hit certain targets, which they did end up being on track for. So Crafton ended up firing the studio's leadership and delayed the game, conveniently just past the...
Also, whenever he realized he couldn't do it, he asked ChatGPT for legal advice on whether or not it was a good idea and how he could do it. And even ChatGPT said, don't.
The window where that bonus could be earned. The founder sued. Court documents even showed that the CEO had actually been...
A gaming CEO asked ChatGPT how to avoid paying a $250 million bonus. It didn't work.
ChatGPT, how to avoid paying. Crafton ended up losing the lawsuit. Anyway,
what are we building the AI super centers for?
Window got extended. So at this point, every copy of the game that sells is just pushing Crafton closer to that exact payout that they initially tried to dodge.
Honestly, if you're even remotely interested in the game, go ahead and buy it just to screw the CEO.
It was pretty funny. But
also, I heard the first one was amazing.
The lawsuit stuff is old news. What people are talking about now is the game itself. And one argument that I've seen pop up specifically is that the creatures are really aggressive. In the first game, I learned you at least had a knife and a couple other tools for some type of self-defense. Granted, I think it was mostly for like harvesting, but it also worked fine for getting an annoying creature to back off.
That's weird because I haven't heard anything about the game at all. Like, it launched and I saw a lot of people playing it, but I literally haven't heard anybody talking about the game.
Subnautica 2, in its current state, doesn't really give you that. You get flares and a few non-lethal deterrents, so...
What do you mean it's not coming from the players? Why does this title even mention that the players might have been... When did that happen? What?
You spend a lot of time, unfortunately, getting...
Oh, his name's John Walker. Yeah, there it is. Johnny Walker. When you're named after an alcohol, you got big bottles to live up to, and he's not doing it.
Swarmed by aggressive fish with no real way to handle it, and a lot of players started saying the exact same thing, that it just stops being scary and it gets annoying. And then the developer went and made it worse. On the official Discord, one of the devs basically told players asking for self-defense this was not a killing game, and if that's what they wanted, then they should just go play Sons of the Forest.
That is not the move. That is not the... What do you do? You cannot tell players, go, if you don't like the game that I made that's unfair, go play another game. Don't, you really, seriously? You're having the problem where the dude's trying to not pay you, and you're just, like, trying to tank your sales?
Man, in the big 2-6, you would think that we would be past the...
Can you refund the game if you beat it, but you tell them that the guy who made it said, don't play the game, go play something else? Is that refundable?
If you don't like it, go play something else. Snippy response from devs, especially from an indie game in early access with a really devoted fan base. I don't know. It appears Unknown Worlds is maybe trying to turn it around pretty quickly, though. They put out an open letter. The executive producer apologized for the...
Yeah. You really should. You really should.
In the future patches to tone down the aggression and hopefully make deterrents work better. One thing that they did say in that letter I thought was a good move is that early access should be a conversation with players, not a one-way lecture from the devs, which, yes, that is true.
Oh, it's only early access? I thought it, like, actually launched.
I am not 100% sure the reasoning behind why they made the game this way in the first place. I have seen some people say, oh, it's just the creative vision. It's always been this way.
Like I said, I don't care about this
ideology
game,
thing.
so I didn't know it
gave you
didn't
fewer
launch
options
fully.
than the first game, and it is definitely something I think that should have been caught during playtests. It kind of feels like it could be the latter reason, which might also explain the initial very sassy response from the dev. Now, I don't think anyone was really
Maybe you shouldn't be sassy. What did they do to throw trust away on purpose? I haven't heard anything. Slay Spire 2 launches immediately shatters a concurrent player record on Steam. What do you mean they throw the... I haven't heard anything about them doing something wrong. Maybe just not enough... Well, it said shattered a concurrent player record. But if they did something wrong, I feel like I would have heard about it.
In Steam history, sitting pretty at overwhelmingly positive. Fans absolutely loved it. And
okay,
then
all good.
Everything changed when a named Sarkeesian attack. I'm joking.
Oh,
but
Lord.
No, not really. Actually, to be fair, this game has had its fair share of negative reviews.
Okay, that I heard, but I didn't hear anybody like mad about the game. I know that they didn't like that the game had her involved, but from what I understand, the game was still good, right?
Full of times. The first 2 waves were back in April, and those were just gameplay stuff, balance patches that nobody really asked for, and a boss that everyone hated so much, the devs eventually just deleted him from the game.
Hold on, the boss was so bad they didn't nerf it, they deleted it? Unheard of. Preposterous.
Waves 1 and 2 are more standard for a game like this. It's Wave 3 that actually belongs in this video, because in early May, someone scrolled the credits and found a name, Anita Sarkeesian, listed as a consultant. Now, as someone who does try my best...
Listen, I used to watch Anita Sarkeesian's videos before she was like really pompous and arrogant and like shoving herself into all the video games. Like, I didn't agree with a good chunk of what she said, but I did find her at least mildly interesting and kind of funny sometimes. And I like to watch videos from people I don't fully agree with, because it's important to have perspectives from people outside of like your kind of bubble. And that's why I like to still be friends with people who I think aren't great people. It's still good to have other perspectives, even if you are not going to agree with them 99% of the time. Because like most of my Facebook is people who I do not agree with, their politics and how unhinged they are whenever it comes to politics. And I'm just like, I liked being friends with you. I used to respect you. This is kind of killing any respect I have for you. But I still consider them friends because I don't disown people for their politics, even if some of them are the type of people who would, because a couple of them have.
To separate the art from the artist, this one is really challenging, I won't lie to you, okay? Anita has genuinely done a lot of damage to this industry. Openly admitted she didn't like games, she didn't play games, and then showed up with her feminist dial cranked to 11 at telling studios how to make their games.
She always does.
While getting paid
that dial doesn't go down.
The Sweet Baby Ink before there was a...
That's where the money comes from.
But this brings us back to the art itself. The game itself is good. There is genuinely nothing in it, at least that I have seen, that would point to her having touched it. But when you buy a game, you are also funding the people who made it. And if you go look at who you're funding and you find a name with that much baggage attached, great gameplay doesn't really unattach it. Now, I don't know how this could be possible, but maybe, just maybe, Mega Crit brought her on for something completely harmless. But even if that was the case, the trust is still broken for a lot of people.
You still have no idea what she worked on and what she put her little chubby little fingers in. And you don't want to support anyone hiring people like that who don't like video games, because she's on record on video saying she didn't know anything about video games until she started complaining about video games, and then she learned about them to complain about them, which is not a position you want to be in.
I honestly don't know what she would have consulted on or why. That is the whole problem. When a name comes with that much history, some people just will not hand you the benefit of the doubt. And while this controversy obviously didn't sink the game, it still has sold very well. It makes you ask the question, why put yourself in this situation in the first place? Why even make a decision?
True.
What could she have possibly consulted you on? Who knows? They had to have known.
Yeah, what could someone who doesn't know anything about video games consult with you
Maybe they
on?
weren't expecting a blowback, but if not...
What's she going to tell? Hold on, let me Google that real quick and tell you what to do.
Shortly after this drama, I was introduced to a little game/movie, a GUI, if you will, called Mixtape. It's about 3 hours long. It's set in the 90s.
It is definitely not a game. It is a movie. You don't even have to play it.
And this game was basically force installed onto all of my social media. Like I said at the start, everything I have learned about this game has been completely against my will. So this is all coming from memory, all right? In case
always
you are
a good start.
Unlike me, and missed out on all of the Mixtape drama, I will just start with the rollout, because the rollout is kind of the whole story here. This game showed up out of nowhere with perfect scores across the board. IGN hands it a 10 because obviously
obviously they did. It's
belongs
IGN.
in the same category as Elden Ring, Breath of the Wild, Red Dead 2, Ocarina of Time even. You've got Microsoft out here subtweeting in its defense. And then there were these tongue clips. I could not escape the tongue clips on any feed that I opened. Even the Baptist was tweeting.
Yeah, that
about
was
it, and
disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting. So I guess you can show it on YouTube if it's not moving.
I genuinely had to Google what astroturfed meant in this context because I kept seeing that word used everywhere. And the more I learned, the worse it got. The publisher is Annapurna, who unfortunately also published one of my favorite indie games of all time, Journey. And Annapurna is
okay. I've heard great things about Journey.
As in the Oracle Guy, as in one of the richest men on the planet. They mailed out full merch boxes. Even Sam Lake, the Alan Wake creator, posted himself in a mixtape t-shirt while playing it for the very first time. Quick aside, my husband.
Honestly, I feel like the guy who made Alan Wake would probably like that game.
You will receive a full unprompted rant.
He just seems like that kind of guy.
Whether or not you wanted it. But back to the merch and to the t-shirts though, because those are honestly the cheapest part about this. The thing that actually shocked me was that they licensed the entire soundtrack in perpetuity. Every single song, forever. Now, I'll be honest.
Forever?
Sometimes I can kind of roll my eyes a little bit when people throw around the phrase industry plant as an insult for anything and everything. But this is one of the very first times when it was like clear as day to me. Oh no, that's an industry plant.
Yeah, it was obvious from the start that was an industry plant. Everything about it screamed.
It was the actual
we're not indie.
AKA the cutscenes that I just could not get over. I will be the first to admit that to be cringe is to be free. It is a mantra that I do try and live by, but there also comes a point. All right, with every clip I saw, I could not get over how unlikable these characters were. They were supposed to be these relatable, rebellious 90s teens sneaking out, blowing stuff up, and fighting with their parents.
They were just criminals.
Also,
they were annoying, entitled criminals.
I mean, we have all threatened a little light domestic terrorism when we weren't allowed to go do hood rat stuff with our friends. Am I right, guys?
True.
I actually feel this way about a lot of nostalgia-bait media.
I have never broken a law a day in my life.
Is not a substitute for a
Jolly's a good boy.
You can pile every timely reference you want onto a weak script. You can put everyone in scrunchies, stick them on skateboards, license all of the relevant music in the world, but the writing is still the writing. This is the part that ties Mixtape back to everything else. Subnautica 2 spent trust by mistake, I think, and appears to be hopefully walking it back. Slay the Spire 2 spent it on purpose and effectively have just shrugged it off. And Mixtape, they skipped the entire earning it part and just tried to buy it outright. Now, you can buy the glowing media attention and you can buy the merch boxes and all the music licenses that will outlast us all, but you cannot buy the part where people are actually glad your game exists.
True. You can't buy the player devotion.
That part you, unfortunately, still have to. Moving on, though, let's pour one out in the chat for Sony. It has been a rough go for them lately. For anyone who has been here for a while, you know I grew up a Nintendo kid, but
didn't we all? Didn't we all?
The PS2 was my first PlayStation, and after that, I was all in. Kingdom Hearts, Uncharted, Shadow of the Colossus, The Last of Us, Bloodborne, Ghost of Tsushima. For a while, they felt like a very safe bet. The company that would reliably, dependably make great exclusive games. And then I discovered PC and realized I never had to pick a side again. But you get the idea. Over the last 6 years or so, though, I have slowly become less and less of a fan to the point where I don't even own a PlayStation console anymore. And to remember where Sony used to be, it makes all of it so much worse. There was a stretch where I thought that Sony genuinely could not miss. They were collecting the best studios, they had the budgets, all while building an audience that would have followed them anywhere and everywhere. So what did they decide to do with all of that? Well, they chased live service, battle passes, and monetization models. They brought in expensive consulting firms to explain their own audience back to them, poured money into AI initiatives.
That's so embarrassing when you have to have your audience explain to you. Like, how do you not know what they? You can just literally just ask them. Just go on Twitter. Just go on Twitter and ask. Have a poll. There's devs that are currently doing that right now, and you know what? They're implementing what the fans are telling them, and they're getting a lot of positive feedback and wish lists and sales. You could do that for free, by the way. You don't need to hire somebody.
Everywhere except the one single direction that built the entire company, just to focus on making great games. In 2022, Sony announced they would be releasing 12 live service games by early 2026. And 4 years later,
good luck. Good luck with that.
Those 12 are dead. The Last of Us,
Amen.
an online game that was reportedly very close to being finished, and they scrapped it. There was a live service God of War for some unknown reason over at Bluepoint that got canceled too, and then of course Bluepoint.
What's that even look like?
Fair Games and Horizon Hunter's Gathering are unfortunately still in the works, and the ones that have made it out the door, you know the names. Concord, which lost them millions of dollars.
Horizon Hunter's Gathering did not look good.
Bungie's Marathon, the studio that Sony bought for $3.5 billion.
And then they stole art.
Specifically to run this live service push. Marathon is currently doing about 10,000 concurrent players on Steam, and now...
You know what? That's better than I thought it would, and, like, I don't think that's enough to keep it alive. I'm not a professional at this. The only live service games I play are WoW whenever I get the itch to play WoW again. Because, you know, I got some unfinished business. I can't quit that entirely yet. But I can go months, even like a year or two without ever playing it. And then I suddenly just, I get drawn back in. And that's fine, because like it brings me joy for a little bit. And then I walk away clean without wasting any more money. And I play Marvel Rivals, which honestly has earned every dime I have given it. And there are more like summer skins coming out tomorrow, actually. Who knows? There might be out today. It's Thursday, isn't it? It might be out today. We can hop on right now, and I can show you how much money I'm about to spend on some of these summer costumes, because I love summer costumes. Some of my favorite costumes when I used to play Overwatch, summer, because everyone just looks so casual and relaxed, and I love that for them. But, like, it's hard to get me to spend money in a game. And the only live service games that have ever done that are Genshin Impact, Marvel Rivals, Overwatch when I used to play it, and World of Warcraft. And that's only because like you have to pay the monthly subscription. And I have bought some bundles when they were dirt cheap on sale for like pets and mounts and stuff, because I like collecting. The most of my retail experience is getting all my alts to the highest level possible, and then farming mounts and pets, because that's what I like to do. It makes me happy. Leveling and farming mounts and pets makes me happy, and that's all I needed.
Now, Bungie has come out and said that they are winding down Destiny 2 support. One more update next month, and then...
That was a long ride, man. Destiny 2 went a lot longer than I thought it would. Now, I tried to play Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, and they were both boring as crap, and I did not enjoy it. I might try it again someday, because I have, like, the physical copies of them. I don't know, man. I don't know. But, like, I did not enjoy it. They were not fun to play.
Almost after 9 years.
But I do have some friends that are absolutely obsessed with it. Like, they're real-life friends, though. They're not streamers. And I feel bad, because, like, they love the game. They put so many hours and so much money into it. And I can't imagine. I cannot imagine wasting that much money, and now the game's just going away.
They are basically done with it. The press release called it a new beginning for the team, which, oh yeah, definitely a new beginning for some of you guys. But to be honest,
maybe they can form their own studio and like make their own game.
In a nutshell, 9 years of slowly wearing down the people who really loved the game. The story content they paid for getting pulled out from underneath them, all of the microtransactions, and this is where all of that lands. The slow death of Marathon. Okay, this is just the live service.
R.I.P. Mary.
What about Sony's actual bread and butter, the big single-player games? Well, their most recent one, Saros, just came out. It reportedly cost somewhere around $70.
I have also not heard anything about that game since it came out. Like, I remember the trailers of them saying it, and then I completely forgot it existed because I had no intention of ever playing it. And then it came out. I saw some people playing it on Steam. I did not. It's not Steam. Twitch. And I did not watch a single one of them play that game. And then I just haven't heard anyone say anything about it.
$6 million to make, and it has sold about 300,000 copies, meaning it's probably made anywhere around 20 to 25.
The game may struggle to break even, but those buying it are playing it a lot. That's certainly a sentence you said about that game. That's a thing about that game, guys.
Million. Yikes. And then there is Naughty Dog, the studio that is basically PlayStation's entire single-player identity. The studio that has not put out a brand new title.
Not much of one, but one.
And their next one, Intergalactic, is not expected until 2027 at the earliest.
Anybody else hear the name of this and then just like immediately go Beastie Boys? Because like it's almost ruining Beastie Boys for me. I don't appreciate it.
Neil Druckmann is out here calling it the most ambitious, most expensive game the studio has ever made.
That's not a brag. It's not a flex, man. That's not the flex you think it is. Hey, look how much money we wasted on this game that we didn't need to.
It is also the same game that got insanely ratioed the one time they released a trailer for it. So, and then just recently, Sony also...
To be fair, the main character looked like a pretentious douchebag. Like, just everything about her screamed, I'm entitled, and it's your problem now.
Announced they are done porting their single-player exclusives to PC.
Didn't have the Karen haircut, but I think that's why they made her bald, so we couldn't claim that Karen haircut.
It definitely sucks for their players. Sony waits years to bring these games over, so by the time that they have landed on PC, the moment is gone. I personally, outside of Stellar Blade, I've not really been all that interested.
I haven't played Stellar Blade. I keep hearing the combat's fantastic, and I want to play it, but I don't own it yet. I'm waiting for it to go on sale. Fingers crossed, guys. Guys, we are going on a shopping spree for the Steam Summer Sale. It should be the 25th, so save those bucks.
And most of their recent exclusive titles. And also, no one is looking to pay full price on like a 3-year-old game. To be fair, jumping back to one of Sony's...
That's true. That's true. Nintendo. No one wants to pay full price for a 3-year-old game.
Respects. One actually did pay off. Helldivers 2. It has reportedly at this point...
Didn't play that either.
sold
It's not
over
really
20
my
million
type of
copies,
game.
People genuinely love this game. But do you remember when Sony tried to make everyone on PC like a PlayStation account?
Yep.
Just to keep playing?
I remember that.
On a
They
game
tried to
where a
sabotage
huge
that
number
game
of people
hard.
Bought it on PC. Yeah, that went about how you would have expected it to. They got review bombed and they walked the whole thing back extremely quickly. But that is kind of the whole Sony problem in one story. They finally had a hit with this. People were very happy, and their first instinct wasn't, great, let us not mess this up. It was, yeah, okay, but how can...
That's because their ego wouldn't let them stay out of it. You're not allowed to be successful without us having something to do with it. We might ruin it, but like, if it is a success, we get to claim the credit.
me squeeze a little bit more out of them. And you can see that exact kind of instinct pointed at the entire rest of their community now. The PS5 came out in 2020 at $500. It has gone up...
Oh my god, PS5 came out with COVID? Did Trump give us PS5?
in price twice. It is now sitting at around $650. The Pro is up $200 from launch, and first-party games have crept up from $60 to $70. PlayStation Plus, which is just the total...
I adamantly refuse to pay $70 for a game if I don't know how it's going to go. Like, honestly, the only game I played that was on PS5 with no PS4 version this console gen, Borderlands 4. And I bought it because it's Borderlands, and I like Borderlands. Even the worst Borderlands, no, that's not true. I hated the worst Borderlands, but that's because they tried to copy Telltale games, and the writing is the worst part about Gearbox. Gearbox is, that's the thing they do the worst, and that's what the entire Telltale model is about, and they cannot pull that off, dude. They cannot pull that off. There's a reason Borderlands 3, the whole meme was, it's great if you play it on mute. To this day, I still recommend you play it on mute, unless you're playing as Zane. Zane is hilarious in that game, and I recommend not muting it, because you will get some gold out of him.
You have to pay to play online. You know, the thing that did used to be free also goes up basically every year now.
Like, even Marvel Rivals later came out with a PS4 version. That saved me from saying that was the only game I'd played on PS5. But to be fair, Borderlands 4 and Marvel Rivals were both on all the consoles, so it was not entirely necessary to play it on PS5. It's just I platinumed all 7 other Borderlands games on the PlayStation, so I had to play Borderlands 4 on PlayStation so I could platinum that one there too.
Sony will tell you a lot of this is just the market, and some of it is, for sure. RAM and storage prices right now are honestly insane. I just had to buy a new SSD, and yes, it was very painful. The whole industry is feeling it. Both Microsoft and Nintendo have been raising their prices too, but also, expensive RAM didn't greenlight Concord, and it didn't cancel 8 live-action games that money had been put towards. It didn't put lots of money and resources behind DEI initiatives, and it sure as heck didn't spend $3.5
Okay, I just
billion
want to point this out. She has great teeth. Look at those teeth. Those are gorgeous teeth.
dollars on Bungie. You can blame the market for a price tag, but you cannot blame it for years of bad decisions. And the people who end up paying for those decisions one way or another, it is not the executives who greenlit them, it's the players. All across the industry, we continue to see versions of the exact same story play out. What it looks like to earn your community's trust, what it looks like to gamble with it, what it looks like to spend it all the way down, or to just never bother earning it in the first place. But for every bad decision Sony makes, there is a Larian, or a Capcom, or
We need to play Baldur's Gate 3 this year. I feel like I put it off long enough.
any of the many Eastern devs actively working to earn their players, or even someone like a Coffee Stain, who built Satisfactory out in the open in early access.
Not really my jam. I feel like all the things going on that screen is going to get confusing and overwhelming, and I'm just going to be like, I don't want to look at this anymore. This seems like a lot.
To their players the whole way through, the exact same thing Unknown Worlds is now having to be reminded to do, or CI Games breaking their Epic exclusivity contract because their fans asked them to. All examples of
Oh, speaking of that, you guys see Final Fantasy VII, the last one? All platforms, not just PlayStation.
Of trust being built.
Hope she
Trust
brings
is
that up.
such a strong currency,
Bring it up.
and
Bring it up. Bring it up.
losing enough of it for some players can even outweigh a good game. But the flip side is actually a little bit hopeful. When a studio really has that trust, their audience will follow them anywhere through early access, through any unforeseen delays, even through a sequel 10
Very
years in
true.
the making.
That's very
trust
true.
is not something that can be bought or astroturfed. You can't IGN 10 your way into it. You actually have to work hard to earn it. One good game at a
IGN giving your game a 10 is actually a red flag for us.
time, one honest update at a time, one moment when you could have squeezed
one
your players
honest hot at a time.
Do that long enough and you stop being the studio playing catch up and you become the one that everyone else is chasing. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for being here.
We did.
I cannot believe it has been a year. I never could have imagined when I started this channel last year that
Dang, girl. Dang, it's been a year since she started that channel, which means it's been about a year since Asmongold showed up and popped her off. Don't get me wrong. She deserved it. She has great videos. She has a great positive attitude. She says negative things, even with this like sweet demeanor to it. My God, she's an absolute delight. Look at her. Girl next door, baby.
This is where we would be.
She's not baby. You guys are baby. I just wanted to be clear. I'm not calling her baby.
I am just incredibly humbled and grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting me, especially to all my channel members and super chatters. I am so thankful to all of the other creators who have reacted to my videos or shouted me out over the last year. And of course,
shout out BrNPC.
A very special thank you again
to the 2 people who are going to watch this. Go watch it, BrNPC.
to Asmongold. Some of you may not know this, but after he reacted to my very first video,
yeah,
it went from 300 subscribers to 100,000 in the span of like 3 days. It was a lot. But
the power of
I'm
gold.
working on getting over my nerves about streaming, and I do think that that's something I would love to try out in the near future. It has been a very crazy year juggling working full time.
I think if she streamed, she'd be pretty popular.
Talk about. But I am just so incredibly grateful to all of you for being here. Thank you for watching, for commenting, for your support. I wouldn't be here without you guys. You really are the main characters.
Although the smart play is to make it like a member stream on YouTube. That way people pay to watch you stream. It's like an exclusive. That's just a good move. Anyway, this was Background NPC. We found out why did they ruin it, although it, I guess, is everything. Actually, we weren't very clear on specifically what it is. I'm just going to guess everything. All right. Leave a comment down below how you feel about this situation. Did you play Slay the Spire 2, Mixtape, or Subnautica 2? Which did you like any of them? Because I know that some people like horrible games. Like one of my best friends, probably my best streaming friend, my best online friend, Delshara, loved Veilguard. I despised it, but she loved it. I don't know what she loved about it, but like, to each their own, man. She has good taste. She's a smart person, so I trust that she found some good in there. I found some good in there. The music was great. The atmosphere was phenomenal. The art was wonderful. The hair physics, absolutely peak. Probably the best hair physics I've ever seen. Everything else sucked. Everything else could just go burn. I don't care. Just keep those people. Put them in another good game. I'd be great with it. But like, let me know. Let me know if you played a horrible game that everyone else despised, but like you liked it. You secretly liked it. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Stay safe, stay hydrated, take care of yourselves, and come catch me on twitch.tv/themplaythejolly. We're gonna be doing more reacts. Sometimes I get too tired to play video games after work, and I think that's great. I usually just like sit down, play a game, shut my brain off, and then don't say anything for a couple hours. I think it'd be better time spent if I'm just like streaming and reacting to things. It makes me happy to stream. All right, love you guys. Mwah.